Denmark since I was in high school because I learned about the different social and economic system that they have in Denmark. This Danish mindset of sharing with other people and being intrinsically motivated was very intriguing to me at the time. A place where people are not really motivated by how much money you make in choosing a career. It was very different, and I wanted to really stretch my understanding of the society. The reason why I chose medical practice and policy program is because I'm a pre-med back at my home university, but the most important reason is because I wanted to learn about the public healthcare system in Denmark. It's free healthcare for all the Danish citizens, and I just wanted to experience what socialized medicine is like, because with Obamacare and everything, it's heavily talked about in the States right now. And also MPP was such a clinical experience-based program that I decided this was going to make or break whether I stay pre-med or not, because pre-med is a very competitive and tiring process, and I just needed the motivation to keep studying and keep working hard to reach my goal. I am originally from South Korea, but I moved to the States when I was 10, and since I was 10 I've always lived in a very diverse community where people respected each other from the different backgrounds that you're from. And so I had this very Korean-American identity, I guess, and coming to Denmark, it kind of hit me even more, realizing that I do have this very complex world where my Korean culture and American culture that I've grown up with have kind of clashed, and that's where I stand, in terms of diversity. And coming here to Denmark, living with the host family, I've just shared a lot about not just my American background, but also about my Korean background that I guess I haven't really connected with for a while. And so it kind of made me realize how I really need to reconnect with my roots. Well, initially, before coming to Denmark, I was kind of afraid of the idea of a very homogeneous society. I wasn't sure what to expect, if everyone's blonde, blue-eyed, and tall, how am I going to fit into the society, right? So that was my biggest worry coming in. But, living with the host family and making Danish friends, I realized that they really respect me for the culture that I come from. And I haven't really faced any racism other than, some people asking me whether I was adopted or whether I'm an au pair in Denmark. But, that's just a different perspective. There's a lot of Asians in Denmark who are adopted and who are working as au pair, and I don't think that's anything negative. And so other than, few questions that I've gotten, I haven't really faced racism. Some people think I'm just Danish, so they would start speaking Danish to me. But in terms of living with my host family, I've had a great time, sharing my Korean culture as well as my Korean American culture, which I found is very different from just an American culture or just a Korean culture. And it was very nice sharing, Korean food. Talking about the differences in Korean culture and the Western culture, and how I feel about my background as a Korean American now that I'm not really fully acquainted with the Korean politics or history, and so sharing a lot with my host family, and it just really opened my perspective up about what I think about my special background. And also in terms of just interacting with the Danes, the homogeneous society doesn't really mean that you have to look like certain group of people. They just respect you for who you are, because everyone is supposed to be equal, everyone is supposed to be guaranteed, free healthcare and free education. So if you want to be healthy, if you want to be educated, you can do so. And so in terms of homogeneous society, it just means everyone is equal, everyone respects each other, and so I don't think I've faced any racism in terms of living in Denmark. So the advice that I want to give to the future DIS students is first to come open-minded, to immerse yourself in the Danish culture, and second, come prepared to share your culture as well, where you are coming from, because the Danes will be very excited to hear about your culture.